Hey everyone, it is Mike with a recap video for today's trade on Kirkland. It is August 22nd, Tuesday. At right now it's 11:30 that I'm making this video. 11:30 at night. Currently at work, and hopefully I'll get this video done in about 10-15 minutes. Because it's just a recap. I'm not gonna go through anything else. It's the same pattern that I've showed you guys over and over. Nothing out of the ordinary of my strategy. Just trying to show you that it still fucking works no matter what you do. It's those earnings winners that you got to pay attention to, especially since it's still earnings season, which is my favorite season. I'll go over the daily chart first, and then I'll go over the intraday chart. But I always try to match up the daily and the intraday. If both those have patterns that I'm familiar with, that's when I want to buy it. So here we have the daily chart. We can see that it's a multi-month breakout over the 1050s area, and then we have resistance up here at the 1150s to 11. So I'm looking to sell sometime around there, 1120s, and possibly 1150s. We'll see if we can test it. But it is a major multi-month breakout, which is that's what one of the reasons why I convinced me to buy here. And it's an earnings winner. Earnings winner with great volume. You can see the volume has been weak all year long. This is the year chart, and all of a sudden we have a 2.2 billion share day on earnings. They didn't really. The earnings is not fantastic, but they were upgraded. We can see here on the live news. We have share spike after results top estimates, and then also analyst Sidoti upgrades Kirkland's to buy, and that's of course something I want to be part of. And luckily I bought before that that press release was out. So I take it overnight people will look at this stock, since it's one of the big percent gainers, up 31% today. Also a large volume, and they will also buy. Maybe hoping that Kirkland's coming back. And since it's a big company, everyone pretty much knows who Kirkland is. There's going to be a lot more investors who also are going to jump in on this, not just day traders. All right. So now that you guys see the daily chart, we'll go to the intraday chart. We can see here we have that resistance line at the major daily breakout. And this is why I decided to buy here. So this is the 5-minute chart. Each one of these is 5 minutes. We can see the earnings was reported overnight, and then we have the reaction to the earnings. It had a huge morning spike from 10s to 1120s, and then it just came down. Now I was sleeping during this time, and then I woke up, and I was sleeping because I was working, from 1 to 7 in the morning. So I was sleeping here, and then I woke up. I quickly glanced at my phone, wanted to see if there's a stock that was hot that maybe I can jump in on. Of course, I do my my research in a few minutes. I'm pretty quick at that now. And I saw this percent gainers, and this is probably the cleanest looking chart on the minute chart, because it looked like this at the time. So you can see the spike, and then it just went sideways. And I was holding that support to the 990/10 area, and that's when that's when it interested me, because I like earnings winners who spike in the morning and hold support all day, and it gives me a good risk to reward setup. So we'll go back to the 5-minute chart, because this is where you can really see the pattern. So now that you understand the breakout level here, I'll explain to you my basically the thinking that I had in buying this. So we have the morning spike, and if you guys follow me, you guys know the ABCD pattern is one of my favorite patterns. So we have the A up there, with the B down there, and the C is somewhere like right around here. And then finally the D would be if it can break out past that, which I think that's asking too much. It probably retest 1150s, but I want it to come up to 1120s. If it doesn't hit the 1120s, I'll sell around the 11s, 1080s again. But we can see this clear ABCD pattern, and I don't know why I spelled can't. We'll do paint real fast, and I'll quickly draw a more linear version of what an ABCD pattern looks like. So we have the spike, comes down, has a nice little spike here, makes a higher low, and it breaks. So we have the A here, we have the B as a low of the day, and we have the C whenever it breaks past this high here, and that's usually where a large spike in volume comes up. And then we have the D when it breaks out, which, like I said, I'm not going to hope that it's going to break out. I'm just going to take profits while I have them. So I hope you can see that now here on the 5-minute chart. So I'll get rid of that. But so I saw it here as it was kind of around 8:30. That's when I looked at my phone, and I saw it coming up, and I thought I missed it at this point at the 11:40s, and I texted one of the traders that I talk to often, and also that I teach. I was telling him, try to find better setups. Right now, there's no better setups except perhaps Kirkland, because it looked like it was holding support, and I told him at the time I'm looking at Kirkland, but it was hanging around the 1040 area, and if I were to buy at 1045, 1050s, my risk would be down to the 1010s and possibly the 10, and that is you talk about a 50-cent risk, and potential reward is 50 cents, so that's not good odds and not good risk reward. So I was going to wait for it to come back down. That's the only time I'd buy is if it came back down and retested the 30s, the 1030s, because then I could buy at 1030, right? If I bought it here at 1030, maybe get the line out again. If I bought here at 1030, I'm risking either down here. If I want to have large risk, I can risk down to the previous to the low of the day, or the low after the morning spike, or I can risk off of this here at the 1010s, which is where I was going to risk off. I want to keep my risk as small as possible. And 20-cent risk potential reward if it retested the 1120s, 1130s. We're talking about basically $1 reward to 20-cent risk, and that's 2 to 5. That's outstanding in my book. So I sent the person the message. I'll buy it when it comes back to 1130s, and a few seconds after I said that, it had this big red candle. Let's see if we can go to the minute chart. Yeah, right here. I was looking at it right around here, right underneath the C area, and you can see this nice little small panic down to 1130s. And as soon as I saw that, I hit buy because that was my plan. It hit my plan, so I got in it according to my plan. And ever since then, it never really touched the 1130s again, which is nice. And another thing, the reason why I bought this is because I've also said this in other videos. For those of you who actually watch my videos, you've been, I hope you guys have been profiting from this. But at 10 o'clock is when you should be looking at the market again, because that's usually when volume comes in again. People are buying, after the midday, anticipation for the rest. And I've shown you pictures on Instagram. I've shown you videos in regards to this. And because of that, I know that people are starting to look at the stocks at 10 o'clock, 10:15, 10:30. So I have to be ahead of the curve, right? I always have to have an edge in the market. I don't have a lot of followers, but I have enough that maybe they're going to learn my edge, so I have to have an edge on them. And I'm always constantly adapting. And that's why I decided to buy a little bit before 10 o'clock. And I bought at 9:50. So you can see how I'm constantly changing my strategy just to make sure I have the best odds to take profits. So 9:50, I saw it dip, and I thought, it's about to be 10 o'clock, 10:15, 10:30. So might as well get in before the crowd, because this is one of the best setups of the day for the earnings winner. So I jumped in, got my entry at exactly 10:30, and after that, I on my Instagram post I said, actually let me bring it up. Where is it? Okay, stock fix. So here I said, long KIRK bought this earnings winner, holding near multi-month highs, forming a nice ABCD-like pattern. Entry is 1030, clear 20-cent risk, right here's 20-cent risk at 1010, potential reward of 50 to 70 cents a share. It's really $1 share, but I'm saying 50 to 7 cents a share, just in case, because right now at 11, that's where my 70 cents a share target is. So if it opens up at 11 again tomorrow and it doesn't have a wall buyers right at the open, I'm selling. I'm not going to try to lose all the profits that I have. And I also mentioned I'm so comfortable with this trade that I'm gonna nap on it, and that's how confident I was with this trade, because I've seen this setup over and over. Not only that, it's an earnings winner, and a couple more details I'm about to go over. But that's how that's how ballsy I was about this trade. So it just continued making higher lows, and at this point, after the midday, I don't look at the 1-minute chart, because then these little panics are going to fake me out, and I don't want to be I don't want to have to deal with that. So I skip to the 5-minute chart always after the midday, so I could see the bigger picture. And you can see it never retested that 1030s, and ever since then it just continued going higher. And before the day closed, we broke past that this high here, which is nice. And now it before the market officially closed, it's still holding above that, which is nice, which gives me the signal that it can potentially make a D on the ABCD pattern and continue breaking out to the 1150s. But I'm not gonna hold my breath for it. All right, so let me tell you a couple more details as to why I wanted to buy this. So I was looking at the earnings call statement thing that they always release, and a bunch of stuff that I normally skip through. I just look for keywords, but this is the thing that I know investors look for, and also it's just general knowledge that you should look for in these press releases, because CEOs, they always try to tease upcoming events, or things that are not part of the earnings report, or things that people are looking for, details, these small details. So the balance sheet is in great shape with 48.7 million in cash and no debt, which that's good. But overall chart, if we look at the one-year chart, doesn't reflect that. But what did make this interesting is this morning we announced that the board has authorized a stock repurchasing plan for the purchase up to $10 million of common stock. That is something that is good for the company, right? That means they're going to buy some of the stocks, which in turn is going to reverse the dilution of the stock that they've authorized over the course of time that they've had to finance. And that's good. That's really good for the company. And as people look at this overnight, especially tomorrow morning, we should see it starting to gap up around the 1120s, and hopefully it opens up above the 1140s. And one thing I forgot to mention is I did sell some of my shares here at the 1080s, which is a nice sell. I sold it before 11s because I know the whole dollars are that mental resistance. But once tomorrow comes up, it can gap up, and then I'll sell at 1120s. As soon as it breaks out, I'll sell the quarter of the share, or half of the shares that I have left, and then I'll probably sell the rest at around 1150. Take my 10% for the overnight trade. But yeah, I pretty much explained everything that I thought of. That nap during this trade was really nice. You guys, hopefully you guys learn this game enough to where you can start getting into setups that you're so comfortable and you're so confident in the setup that you're okay, going on a coma or something. Not necessarily that, but you're okay, not looking at it, because that the odds are on your favor so much that you don't have to stress out about it. And really the goal of this is not to be stressed out in these setups. These should be gimme setups, not something that you're panicking over because it's about to collapse or it's going to spike and you're going to miss that spike before it fakes you out. And yeah, that's today's video lesson. KIRK overnight, we'll see what it can open at. I've already made my 7%. We'll see if it can hit 10%. And then we'll do the next trade over and over. Just keep hitting these ABCD patterns, earnings winners. You know, the best setup, one of my best setups ever. I mean, I love this pattern. But just always keep in mind the daily chart. You know, if there's a lot of resistance at the 11s, I wouldn't be buying this. But luckily, it's, you know, it's a little bit higher, 1150s to the 12s. But it's an earnings winner, it has legs, so we'll see. We'll see what this can do. Past performance, you know, is, you know, kind of iffy, but earnings winner, large volume. All right, guys, that's it. Nice little small video. Let's see how many minutes that was. I don't see the time. Probably like 10 minutes. All right, until next time, guys. That was Mad Mike and Mike with Daily Stock Fix. Peace.